Everybody, welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Of course, I am your host, Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. Back at it again with another banger, my friends. So kick back, relax, and come take a ride with me. The South Carolina Gamecocks, Gamecock Nation, 40 straight wins. Do you realize that Tessa Johnson and Malaysia Fulwale have not lost a game yet in their collegiate careers? That is insane. Today, they faced a top 10 foe, the toughest matchup they played so far in NC State, and they absolutely got it done. And they got off to a very hot start, causing turnovers, forcing 12 turnovers in the first half, turning it into 15 points. They did give a big 11-0 run up in the second quarter, and then Malaysia Fulwale completely took over the second quarter, scoring 9 points, putting the team on her back. And we really saw this team start to pull away when they got active in transition, playing fast, moving the basketball, and getting those paint touches. It was not a great shooting night from three, but they made enough. Tahina Pow Pow, Malaysian Fulwale led the way. Man, what a big win. This is a game that we expected them to win. It never felt like they were in danger of losing it, but salute to NC State as well, man. Zaya James as well as Zam Jones, two of the best guards that we've seen so far this year in that backcourt for them. James, one of the best scorers in the country, super underrated. Jones, a talented freshman who went 4 of 6 from three, played a big game. So shout out NC State. It just was not quite enough. Now, I'm not going to come on here and say this was a dominant performance, but it was good enough. We still need to see 4 complete quarters of basketball from South Carolina, but this was a game where they were battle tested. It was a game of momentum, a game of runs. NC State cut this thing to single digits multiple times. Turnovers late in the game almost cost this team, but they held on, they stood firm, and they had like 56 points in the paint. It was ridiculous. We know this team doesn't truly have a number one post option, but they are doing it by committee. I love what I saw from Joyce Edwards. Ashlyn Watkins is back, and they didn't have Khloe Kitts, who was suspended due to academic reasons. So she missed this game. So they were down their leading scorer. But South Carolina, man, I honestly think that this was a gutsy performance from them. I think that they showed a lot of heart. They were battle tested. They were pushed. At times, they didn't look good in the quarter court offense, but overall, they played well enough to get the job done today. Alice, welcome in, welcome in. Cocky Twan, welcome in, welcome in. Guys, if this is your first time, welcome into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Of course, I am your host, Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. Back at it again, my friends. Make sure to subscribe, comment, like, share, all that good stuff to stay up with the latest within the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. And follow us on social media at Brandon Lee TV. Brandon, I don't think you understand why Bree Hall is still starting. She is not better than Lay or Tessa. I mean, Breezy really, I think, is out there for one, her shooting ability, but definitely her defense. She's probably the best perimeter defender on this team. She's out there definitely for her defense, I think, more than anything, and her leadership, being a veteran. But it's going to come a time where they're not going to be able to keep Malaysia Fulwale off the court. Coming off the bench, she was really, really productive tonight. I like what we saw. She looked comfortable. She looked confident. She was getting to her spots. She was getting off the dribble, getting buckets, shooting the mid-range well, hit a couple big threes. Jay, what's up? What's up? Welcome in, my guy. Malaysia Fulwale had 18 points in 18 minutes. It's going to come a time, though, where 18 minutes is just not enough time for her to be on the court. It's going to come a time where they are going to have to give her more minutes. Tessa Johnson only played 9 minutes today and didn't really have a chance to be impactful, in my opinion. But it was definitely the Tahina Pow Pow and Malaysia Fulwale show. Pow Pow led the way with 23 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. Malaysia Fulwale had 18 points, 3 rebounds herself. Joyce Edwards, 8 points, 2 assists, 5 rebounds. How about Joyce Edwards getting her first start, man? She is a generational talent. She was down there battling on the glass, creating second chance opportunities. She runs the floor well, and I think they got to do better about getting her more paint touches because she had a lot of mismatches down low, man. NC State absolutely did not have the size to match up with the South Carolina Gamecocks. Sanaya Fagan, 6 points, 2 assists, 8 rebounds. She missed a few bunnies. I need to see her be a little bit more efficient around the rim, but she did what they needed to do. But Malaysia Fulwali and Tina Pow Pow definitely stole the show. How about Ashlyn Watkins' first game? Got 19 minutes. She had 6 points, 1 assist, and 6 rebounds. What did y'all see from Ashlyn Watkins out there? I think they desperately needed her just from her defensive standpoint, guarding the paint, one of the most elite shot blockers in the country. She runs the floor well, but they still don't have a number one go-to post option. There is no Aaliyah Boston on this team. There is no Camila Cardoso right now, so they're having to find different ways to win. Today, they rely on their guards to get it done in the perimeter game. Transition looked really well. Defense looked really well for the most part, man. They were forcing turnovers, pressuring that basketball, and it is not easy, nor will it always be pretty when you win in 40 straight games. You find a way to win though, and the Gamecocks found a way to win in a neutral site game in Charlotte. It was a great atmosphere, great crowd. Give me y'all's biggest takeaways from the game though. I think what we saw is definitely a paint presence by committee. They dominated the paint scoring 56 points in the paint. Great touches. They were very selfless with the basketball, moving the basketball. I like how this group plays fast. They have to work on the quarter court offense and getting more sets set up. I think in the second half we saw NC State make that run and take the lead for a moment, and then South Carolina started getting pounding that paint, pounding the ball inside, using their size, and that's been where South Carolina's always been at their best, is pounding the paint. But it's gonna come a point though where 18 minutes is not enough for Malaysia Fulwali. Yeah, Raven Johnson. Will the real Raven Johnson please stand up? Where has Raven Johnson been, man? She looked okay in this game, but she just has not returned to the form that we grew accustomed to seeing last year. Raven Johnson has not been the same player this year since she was last year, and her jump shot looks like it did 2 years ago. Um, at this point, man, you gotta find more minutes for Tessa Johnson. You gotta find more minutes for Malaysia Fulwali. But Coach Don Staley has always been a coach that rides the hot hand. If you're playing well, you will get those minutes. We know that's how she goes. Brandon, I think Raven is overrated too. She is playing poorly without Camilla. Raven can't be productive. Her favorite pass is the lob, but Camilla is not there. Do you think she is elite like Olivia? No, I think Olivia Miles is in an entirely different class than Raven Johnson. Like, entirely different class than her. She's a way more complete player. Offensively, she's got a deeper bag. She shoots it a lot better. She's a better passer, to be honest. She's super versatile. Olivia Miles is in an entire different stratosphere than Raven Johnson. But that's a very valid point, man. Like, those lob passes that she used to get about 4 assists to Camilla a game, and now she's not getting that, and her assists have taken a hit. Man, Raven been missing ever since the championship game last season. Yeah, Jay, Raven Johnson has not been the same player that this group has led on. Maybe they might need to switch some things around. Try Malaysia Fulwali in the starting lineup. We saw Khloe Kitts, of course, was out due to academic reasons. Joyce Edwards got her first start today. It might be time to bump Malaysia Fulwali, especially if she keeps playing like this, man. Like, it's just going to be impossible to keep her off the court. She's too good. She's too explosive. She's too dynamic. And she's too impactful to not be getting more than 18 minutes a game. It's getting to a point where they're not going to be able to keep her off the court. I think it's fair to say we could all agree that Malaysia Fulwili is a more complete player than Raven Johnson right now. And that brings me to the first poll. Let's get a poll up. Guys, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff to stay up with all the latest and the greatest. Let's get a poll up. Should It's still early, facts, and we don't. There's no need to overreact. But it's still something to talk about. Ashy Knuckles, my man, you always coming in on one. Respect to you for being in the chat, but nobody ever claimed that Raven Johnson was a scorer, my guy. It's never been her game. She is a pass first guard, elite defender, and a pretty darn good rebounder for her position, to be honest. But Malaysia Full Wiley is just showing us more right now. Malaysia Full Wiley is showing us more right now, but it is still early. And this is a backcourt that returns that won a national championship, that have won 40 games straight. Maybe you don't mess with the chemistry. Maybe you don't tweak too much. Don't fix it if it isn't broken type vibe. But I think they got to find more minutes for Malaysia Full Wiley and Tessa Johnson, to be honest, because 9 minutes for Tessa is not enough. You're talking about two of their best players through the NCAA tournament and the SEC tournament last year. They do not become national champions without Tessa and Lay last year. It just doesn't happen. Definitely still early though. But Raven just hasn't been the same player. Let's be honest. Raven Johnson has not been the same player, guys. Like, it's not hating, but can we be honest? Can we just be honest? Can we be honest, y'all? Let's be real. This is the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Y'all know how we do it here. Let's be real. Raven Johnson has not been the same player. That's not hating. That's just facts. Yes, it's early in the season. I'm not saying bench her or get rid of her or throw her to the wolves or nothing like that. That's not what anybody is saying. But is she playing at the level that she was playing at during the championship last year during that run? No, she's not. Can she get back to that level? Maybe. Nobody's saying it can't happen, but she's not been the same player. Let's be real. Yo, Ethan, what you tell us about Ashlyn? What you tell us about Ashlyn? If that's how South Carolina is going to play this season, they're going to lose some games, and they will not even get close to the championship with that roster, especially the front court. It's got to be committee. They haven't had one player step up and be the alpha. And let's not forget, they were missing Khloe Kitts today. South Carolina did release a statement about that. That was a big loss. Like, they were missing Khloe Kitts today. I do want to acknowledge that leading scorer this season so far, they were missing Khloe Kitts. That is a big loss. I think she's been their most reliable post presence so far. She has a versatile game where she can spread the floor, shoot it. But yeah, they're having to figure out different ways to win. This is not a typical South Carolina team that we're seeing. There's not like one elite big that's going to command a double team or a lot of attention. There's just not that type of player this year. They're going to have to rely on their perimeter play. Ethan, I didn't rush to judgment, my guy. I literally reported what everybody else was reporting, bros. Like, I mean, I don't know what else to say to you about that. I'm not going to keep addressing that. Explain the level, because she was always a defender and never a double-digit scorer. She has not looked like an elite defender. Like, Zam Jones and Zaya James was out there going crazy. She has not looked like an elite defender. The assists have been down. The assists have been down from last year, and she's shooting at a worse percentage than she was last year. She just hasn't been playing. She just hasn't been playing at the same level, and it's still early. Nobody's overreacting. Like, it's still very, very early in the season, but she just hasn't been playing at the same level. Ethan, bro, you cap. You are capped right now. Nobody condemned her. I literally reported what was out there and read the reports. It was looking bad at that time, but I'm not gonna keep addressing that. Move on, my guy. Move on. But let me know y'all's biggest takeaways from this game. Let me know. Holler at me in the comments and give me y'all's biggest takeaways. They're gonna play faster than last year. I think they got to get out and really push the pace. They are an extremely dangerous fast break team. We've seen that. They are an extremely dangerous fast break team. That's what I be telling people, Shaquem. Like, I'm so neutral. Like, bro, I don't have a dog in the fight. I just tell it how it is. And it rubs people the wrong way sometimes. But, hey, you can't please everybody. Brandon is neutral. I'm a huge Gamecock fan. I can't see Raven being better than Maddie. If you look at these new players like Jelani, Zam, Maddie in high school was cooking, she will be better than RJ. I mean, yeah, it's no shade to Raven Johnson, man. But I just think, honestly, Malaysia Fulwali's a better player at this point in time. And that's no shade. That's just what it is. That's what we've seen this season. That's what we've gotten. We can only go off of what we're seeing and what we're watching. That's all we can go off of, y'all. Period. That's it. That's it. But they look good in transition. They were sharing that basketball. I like how they were pushing the rock. I like how they were, moving the basketball, getting it up the court. And they had running lanes and slashers were getting to the cup. Man, they looked really good in transition. They were causing havoc on the defensive side, trapping the basketball, jumping passing lanes, picking pockets. I think it was a lot of good things to take away. And, I mean, NC State has nothing to hold their heads about either. Raven is starting because for defense, Malaysia's offensive player, she's not a good defender. I mean, she's not a bad defender, though. Malaysia's definitely not a bad defender. She's improved on defense a lot, and she's pretty pesky on ball. That's why she come off the bench, because she can't do both, because if she could, she'd be starting. I mean, maybe by the end of the season, Malaysia Fulwali's in that starting lineup. I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked. I know her defense was something that kept her off the court initially, early in her freshman year, but she's definitely stepped it up on that end. I gotta give her credit there. Guys, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. 40 straight, though? 40 straight wins is insane. Malaysia Fulwali and Tessa Johnson, guys, have not lost a game in their college careers. Malaysia Fulwali and Tessa Johnson have not lost a game in their college career. Like, that is insane to me. And I just wanted to get this up here so we know Khloe Kitts was suspended. We don't know when she'll be back, so this could be developing news. We're disappointed that Khloe has to sit out the game today due to an academic policy issue. Khloe has shown tremendous growth both academically and athletically over the offseason, demonstrating her commitment to excellence in every aspect. While she's unable to play today, we're incredibly proud of her progress. And that was a statement from the team, from Don Staley. We don't know how long Khloe Kitts will be out. So that's definitely something to monitor, because Khloe Kitts has been their best player. She's been their most consistent player. So that's definitely something that's going to be a watch. It's definitely going to be something to watch. I don't know how long Khloe Kitts will be out, but this Gamecocks team, to be at their best, needs to be at full strength, and that includes needing Khloe Kitts. I predicted that she was going to have a breakout season. She had 19 and 14 in their first game, was the most reliable low block scorer they had, number one option. It seems like, yeah, her grades are not where they should be right now, and that's kind of like something to monitor, because we don't know how long she will be out, how long it will take to get the grades up, how far she is away from where she needs to be goal-wise. But losing Khloe Kitts is a huge loss. I don't know how long she will be out, but she's one of their most versatile players. She was the number one scoring option in that first game. She's a shooter. She's looked better handling the basketball. She's worked on her game. She's worked on her body. Like, this is a big loss. Khloe Kitts was one of the players I felt like, South Carolina's not really into like individual accolades, and a lot of their players don't win individual awards. But she was a player that I thought could really break out this year, be a double-double machine, and potentially, make one of those All-American teams. But we don't know exactly when she will be back, and that's like the thing to monitor with situations like that. We don't know when Khloe Kitts will be back. That is something that is definitely going to be. I mean, you finally get Ashlyn Watkins back for her first game, and then you lose Khloe Kitts. Like, that's tough. That's tough. That's tough, man. Cocky Twan, I don't know what I'm going to do with Raven. She can't shoot a lick. Yeah, she went back to her ways, man. The jump shot has not looked confident. Sunday live stream, yes, I got you. Theo, appreciate you joining in. I got you. I gotta keep y'all locked in. We back in full force. South Carolina has never won a championship without a post-up player. So how in the world they're going to win that front court on offense? None of them create a double team. That's true. None of them. They don't have a big that commands a double team. They're having to do it by committee this year, to be honest with y'all. There's no, like, alpha in that post that's demanding the ball and commanding attention. It's going to have to be Sanaya Fagan. It's going to have to be Khloe Kitts. It's going to have to be Ashlyn Watkins. Maybe, they get Adele Tack in there. It's going to have to be Joyce Edwards, like Sakima Walker. We didn't really see Miriam Dowder. Like, it's going to have to be a committee. They've got a lot of bigs. None of them are elite right now. Somebody's got to step up and be that number one option and be that force and be that low block anchor, that paint anchor on both ends. But we don't know yet. We don't know yet. It's going to have to be by committee. Pow Pow and Raven trying to go to the league in the draft, and Don not benching seniors in their last year just to start full Wiley. I don't know. Don has been known to play the hot hand, and whoever's playing the best is going to get the minutes. She's pretty much stood firm on that. We've seen it. Y'all fed up with Marion Dowd? Man, you talk about a big player that could shoot the three. She looked solid in exhibition. Like, it looked like she was going to be another weapon for this team. But, yeah, I don't know. Y'all ready to send Miriam back? The way South Carolina is built is putting too much pressure on the backcourt to score because they're not going to really get anything on offense in the post. They got to play faster this year. That's when they really got out in transition and ran. That's when they really, really took off and got a double-digit lead. They're good in transition. They have athletic bigs that can really get up and down the floor. It's just those sets in the quarter court offense, where they're really not getting any type of love, to be honest. Like those paint touches where they're dumping it off and trying to go back to the basket and get a bucket, it's not working at all. None of their bigs really have a go-to move, and there was a lot of missed layups. But in transition, they look really good, and if they can keep playing defense and forcing turnovers and converting those turnovers to buckets on the other end, they'll be fine. This was a good test, though. A lot of teams are not playing top 10 teams in the second game. This was a bold test. Staley has never been one. South Carolina's never been one to duck no smoke. Watching some of these players, I wonder what they were doing in the offseason. Yeah. Brandon, can you please go live after Notre Dame game because I want you to discuss the ability of a true point guard. I want to hear your opinion on Olivia Miles. Yeah, I love Olivia Miles. I went live after one of their last games, and yeah, she's a dog. I know people were kind of worried about how her and Hannah Hidalgo would mesh up, and she looked great. Triple-double after a year off is crazy. Looking at a couple other games, I just want to say too, man, NC State has nothing to hold their heads about. I was extremely impressed with Zam Jones. 4 of 6 from 3. Like, she was lighting it up. She's going to be a freshman to watch. I think Isaiah James is one of the most underrated guards, one of the best scorers in the country. She had 13. Zoe Brooks had 11. Sanaya Rivers never has a good game. And she talking about can't shoot a lick. She never has a good game against NC State, man. But Zam Jones, the freshman, coming off the bench, 16 points, was knocking it down for 3, really providing a spark. She's going to be a player. Love her energy, love her tenacity. She's definitely got that dog in her. Plays really good defense, was locked in. I think she was, I enjoyed what I saw from her. Yeah, we haven't seen anything from Miriam. I ain't going to hold you. We have not seen anything from Miriam. He came over and we was like, yo, they got another big that can shoot. Sakima Walker played 1 minute. Dowden didn't play at all. Tack hasn't played. Yeah, I mean, they're still figuring out rotations. They're still figuring out who is going to be able to contribute. But the post, this is not a typical South Carolina post team right now. They're going to have to find different ways to win, but they do have an extremely deep backcourt, and they have enough perimeter shooting on this team to rely on it. They're just going to have to find different ways to win. They're going to have to adjust. Miriam got to learn the offense. They got to gel. Just give it some time. They not trying to go undefeated. It's about them being a championship team when the tournament starts. Yeah, they don't give a damn about that record. Coach Don Staley could care less about that record. 40 straight is very impressive. Everybody got to lose sometime. You would definitely rather drop a couple of games in the regular season and get it out the way. And I mean, they're gonna and then get right in the tournament, but they're gonna be battle tested. This team's got to play UConn. They're gonna play SoCal. They're gonna see Juju. They're gonna see Paige Beckers. They got Texas twice. Rory Harmon, Madison Booker, like, they are going to be battle tested. Oklahoma, Reagan Beers is going to be a big matchup for this front court as well. So they will absolutely be battle tested once everything's said and done. South Carolina has one of the hardest non-conference schedules in the country. Brittany, welcome in, welcome in. Raven the Glue handles see the court the best in defense. She just got to get her shooting together. Yeah, she's always been the glue player for this group. She makes winning plays. She just got to get back to playing elite championship level basketball. But nobody's second guessing her defense, her effort, her passing ability, her court vision, or her leadership. And that's why Raven is struggling, because the pressure is on her in the backcourt, because the front court is not creating double teams and shots are very tough for them. Yeah, I mean, there is no big on this team that is going to command a double team. So they're not gonna have as many open shots as they did with Camilla down there last year. That's a good observation. That's a good observation. Give me y'all's biggest takeaways from this game though, man. Like, transition offense, I think they impressed. They forced turnovers. They were really putting pressure on the guards. And I think they did a really good job in transition. They got a lot of paint touches, 56 points in the paint. That's when they really started getting it going. But they're finding different ways to win. Malaysia Fulwiley, 18 points in 18 minutes off the bench. Powell hit some big shots. And we see how crucial it was for her to return. But yeah, no, I mean, there's, like y'all said, there's no need to overreact. It's 2 games in. Guys, if this is your first time, welcome into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. Welcome in. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, comment, like, share, all that good stuff. And follow us on social media at Brandon Lee TV to stay up with all the latest. Yeah, Raven is definitely a pass first point guard. And that's nothing wrong with that. That's actually a rare breed nowadays. That's actually a rare breed nowadays. So we got the poll. 33% said yes, Full Wiley should get the start. 67% of y'all said no. If it ain't fixed, don't break it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But yeah, now Raven Johnson is definitely a true point guard. She's a glue player. She does a lot for this team. Absolutely. Nobody is second guessing that. But you also got to go with the hot hand. And there's no way that they can only play Malaysia for Wally 18 minutes and she's playing like that. She got to be on the floor. She need like 22 minutes at least. You looking at that, and then Tessa Johnson only played 9 minutes today. Like, you got to get these players more minutes. Nah, I mean, Sanaya Rivers is very inconsistent, and I really don't like point guards that can't shoot personally. But she's solid. Zam Jones, that freshman they got, though, she put up 16 off the bench, went 4 to 6 from 3. Zam Jones is going to be a player, for sure. She's definitely going to be a player. She's going to be a player. NC State fought hard, though. NC State absolutely fought hard. This was a good matchup, a good early season matchup for South Carolina, and they flexed their muscles a bit. Holler at me in the comments. Takeaways, takeaways, takeaways. Let me know. Let me know. Let's check out some other games as well. Another team that I think is definitely going to make some noise. Iowa State remains undefeated, gets a big win. And by big, I mean margin-wise, they won by dang near 30. Addie Brown and Audie Crooks, the 2 juniors coming back, or 2 sophomores, I should say, coming back, are definitely elite level talents in the Big 12, doing their thing. Addie Brown has been on another level, and they really let her cook this year. Iowa State is absolutely letting Addie Brown cook. She hit 21 points, 4 assists, 10 rebounds. Audie Crooks, one of the best bigs in the country. 17 points, 3 assists, 11 rebounds. Shout out Iowa State. Getting it done. And we will come back to South Carolina. We just kind of looking at the round table a little bit. Maryland also got a win today over the number 10th ranked team in the country. And Duke, two former ACC foes. And man, Maryland did some really great things in the transfer portal. I ain't gonna lie. People are not talking about them enough in the Big 12. Kayleen Smickle, 23 points. You got Cheyenne Sellers out there, 17 points, and Brianna McDaniel added 15 points as well. I'm excited to see them get more production out of Sailor Poffenbarger. I was a fan of hers last year, but yeah, Maryland's definitely going to have a good team, a veteran team, and they added a lot of scoring firepower from last year's squad to last year's squad, I should say. A couple other updates there for y'all. Little round robin. UConn is also playing right now. So yeah, we definitely have more content coming up. UTLA is up on Colgate 34-27. UConn is up 50-32 over South Florida. Texas beat SEMO, Southeast Missouri State for those out there. Southeast Missouri, I should say. 119-70 or for 47. Golly, talk about a blowout. Madison Booker had 18.6 assists, 11 rebounds. Great game for Taylor Jones, 18 points, 1 assist, 6 rebounds. Rory Harmon came back this game as well. Since she's been cleared, she had 10.7 assists, 4 rebounds for her. And Texas is definitely going to be the biggest threat to South Carolina. Texas is absolutely going to be the biggest threat to South Carolina in the SEC. It's easy for Olivia Miles to show out against a sub 300 RPI. They got perimeter shooting, but they don't have a post-up player to get shots. That's the problem. Yeah, I mean, there's nobody that's commanding a double team. Facts. Olivia Miles is absolutely a player to watch. Happy to see her. Happy to see her. Rory Harmon coming back with a vengeance. Yeah, Duke is number 11, and they lost to Maryland, who was ranked number 18. Yeah, UConn is going to be deep. And we saw, man, like they were small last year. Dana Alfie is the real deal, double-double. She's finally healthy playing her first game. And Sarah Strong is a monster as well at the 4, bringing very good versatility, can shoot it, can put it on the floor. They're still waiting to get AZ Fudd back. Like this team at full strength, UConn, in my opinion, is the second best team in the nation. SoCal still waiting for the real Talia Von Ohoffen to show up, but they will be fine. But yeah, UConn, the experience, the chemistry already established. If they can stay healthy, which has been a big if the last several seasons, but if they can stay healthy, they are going to be extremely dangerous, and they have the bigs to match up with South Carolina as well as the guards. Definitely. I definitely think UConn is the biggest challenger. All right, all right. Let's see. I'm gonna put another poll up. Let's see. Let's see. Let's get another spicy poll, y'all. Y'all, let's get another spicy poll up. Let's get another spicy poll up. Who we're gonna say who? And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if South Carolina loses the game. Their non-conference schedule is absolutely nuts. They still got to play UConn. They still got to play SoCal and Juju and them. They still got to play Iowa State. They're playing. They still have to play Texas twice. They still have to see Oklahoma and Reagan Beers. They still got to see LSU. Like South Carolina definitely has one of the toughest schedules in the entire country for sure. So don't be shocked if they do drop a couple. Who is biggest threat to beat? Who is the biggest threat to beat South Carolina? In y'all's opinion, holler at me in the comments. I got a poll cooking. My people. I got a poll cooking for you. Give me one moment. I got a spicy poll coming up. Yo, South Carolina's schedule is insane. Telling y'all right now, they are going to be beyond battle tested. They might have to find different ways to win, though. They do have a deep backcourt. They got enough perimeter scoring. Notre Dame is my dark horse to win the championship. Notre Dame is my dark horse to win the championship. I think UCLA is overrated personally, but I'm gonna let them live. I'm gonna let them live, but I think UCLA is overrated. They're talented though. Tamia Gardner's a dog. Janiah Barker, like they boosted that front court, but I think they're a little overrated. But y'all let me know who is the biggest threat to take down UConn. I'm telling you right now, man. Kate Coball, the 5-star freshman, the center, playing for Notre Dame. Notre Dame was extremely small. Didn't have a true post last year. They got Cobalt who's out there blocking shots, anchoring the paint on both ends, a capable finisher around the rim, a pretty good rebounder, big body. Like, she's adding a different dynamic. And then you bring back Olivia Miles. They don't even have Sonia Citron playing right now, who's also one of the better guards in the country. He says UConn is overrated. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. What y'all got, chat? What y'all got? It's been spicy in here tonight, man. It's been spicy here tonight. Drop me your answers. UConn at 50% right now. No votes for USC, though. Y'all not believing in Kiki Rapin and Juju? What Bree Hall does is stay at the perimeter and pass the ball. She is a streaky shooter, and sometimes she can score in transition, but she can't drive and use her angles like Lay or Tessa. Those shooters of SC that they have is built for a post-up player that can score in the paint. They don't have that many, not the shooting, but they don't have to post up players to match it. No, this is definitely one of the weaker front courts we've seen from South Carolina. Like, they have depth, but there's no star, there's no alpha, there's no number one scoring option. Maybe one of them steps up to be that player, but we haven't seen it yet. Cocky Twan says he is a little worried about UConn. Carolina is going to lose the teams that y'all not even going to believe because of that. We'll see a Raven continue to struggle and others because they don't have a post-up player. Worried about Notre Dame, Shaquem. Okay, Notre Dame. Most of these programs, and I mean a lot of the league, a lot of the country got better this year. A lot of teams got a lot better. Most of the pre-games are like practices, not too exciting to watch. Tessa tweaked her ankle, so they held her out. Khloe was out for missing class. Yeah, the academic reasons. Carolina Biggs will stabilize once Ashlyn is back acclimated, and they are bringing in Tack alone slowly. Sterling, they are going to have a lot of bodies. Who's going to step up and be that alpha? This was a big win without Khloe Kitts, though, who's been their best player through one game. I'll say she's 19 and 14 last game. She's definitely a breakout candidate, in my opinion. But yeah, anytime you got elite guards, like we saw Hannah Hidalgo give South Carolina work last year. Now you got Olivia Miles and you got a guard Sonya Citron too. Pick your poison. And they actually have a big this year. Yeah. This is not the type of South Carolina team that is built right now to dominate the post. This isn't the same team like style makeup foundation that we're accustomed to seeing from them. They're gonna have to find different ways to win, and they did that today with Malaysia Full Wiley and Tahina Pow Pow leading the way. This backcourt is deep. They do have shooters. They're gonna have to find different ways to win. Okay, Pauline, welcome in. Pauline says, I think UCLA is the hardest because we are playing back-to-back games. Valid. Does USC women's basketball team win the ACC women's tournament? Wait, is who winning the ACC tournament? You said South Carolina's just figuring out how to play with each other with the entire team together now, just for 3 days. Doubt them if you will. That front court can play as aggressive as they want. Oh yeah. I got USC taking the Big Ten. I will say though, I think Ohio State's gonna be good. Jelani Cambridge is different. She's already proven that she's an elite guard. Cody McMahon's back. I think Ohio State will be fun to watch. Iowa's gonna be better than teams expect. I think Lucy Olson as well as Hannah Stokes is gonna be a nice 1-2 punch. Taylor McCabe has been around there. She can really shoot it lights out, and they're expecting to get Sydney Falter back as well. But yeah, I would say definitely USC and UCLA are the favorites in the Big Ten right now. But the Big Ten should be fun. Don's teams are deep and balanced just as they did with State. They wear you down and crush your spirit in the third quarter. I tell you, Malaysia Pool Wiley, he absolutely took over that second quarter. But it's definitely still early, so I'm not like here to overreact and go crazy or nothing. Like, it's still very early. Every team that we're seeing right now is going to look completely different in 2 to 3 months. Completely different. Yeah, these teams will look. This team, I mean, they will look completely different. Let's keep it 100. SC is not gonna repeat. Smart guy said, "Ain't no way they getting back to the pinnacle. Ain't no way. Not with this team." That's what Smart guy said. There's just no chance. So 44% of y'all said UConn, 19% said Notre Dame. That would probably be my vote. UConn and Notre Dame in that order. Texas at 31%. And then USC at 6%. Okay, y'all keep voting, keep running that poll up, keep running that poll up. And if this is your first time, welcome into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. Make sure to subscribe, comment, like, share, all that good stuff. And follow us on social media at Brandon Lee TV. But yeah, my biggest takeaways was the defense, the ball pressure, the turnovers that they caused, and turning turnovers into transition points. The transition scoring stood out. And then, of course, just the effort, the energy, but also the lack of an elite post player is a weakness in my opinion. But they have enough bodies to rotate in there. UConn hasn't played anyone good. I'm hearing Paige is the best player she is, but none of their new players have been tested and don't have depth in the front court. Yeah, I mean the front court depth. They got a couple of bodies. Of course, we mentioned El Alfie's gonna be there. She should be starting at the five, honestly. You got Sarah Strong, you got Ice Brady, you got some bigs down there. But I do feel that. I definitely do feel where y'all coming from. I definitely feel where y'all are coming from. But nah, there's been a lot of teams that have not been battle tested yet. South Carolina is getting battle tested early. There's not a lot of teams that are gonna take a top 10 matchup in their second game. They're just not. A lot of teams would not have played that game, and not even at home, but at a neutral site. Y'all make sure to keep commenting. Let me know how y'all feeling. Smart guy has been drinking. Don's team has a system and who can match their talent off the bench. Last year teams played with them for 2 quarters for their constant pressure. Let's keep it real. SC is not going to win the championship this year. They don't have the pieces to win a championship. In the front court, there's nothing for SC to figure out when you don't have the pieces. That's a big question. Will Paige Becker stay healthy? Will the injury bug avoid UConn? Can they stay healthy? Great question. If they do, then if they're at full strength, They are the second best team in the country. If not, they're gonna get run off the court. They gotta be healthy. Yes, give me some more of y'all's final takeaways from that game. We all watched it. We all saw what was going on. Talk to me in the comments. Let me know. Let me know. Guys, I will stand by it. I genuinely feel like I have the best chat on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for picking my platform to share your opinions, your thoughts, your beliefs, and all that great stuff. It's always an awesome time when we hop on. Yeah, hey, smart guys, they're going to have to adjust. If they don't have an elite big, if they keep having to play like this, they got a deep backcourt. They're going to have to find different ways to win. Great programs find a way. They're just going to have to win differently with and cater whatever they're doing to the personnel that they have right now. NCAA women's teams that play these easy early games are going to be ranked high in the polls. I mean, it's like, do you want to go undefeated through the off or the pre not even preseason but like non-conference? Do you want to go undefeated or do you want to be battle tested? You know, it's a little bit of give and take there. Talk to me, talk to me. Holla at me in the comments. Let me know biggest takeaways, biggest takeaways. Let's see what the poll is looking like. UConn 41%, the overwhelming favorite. Notre Dame at 14%, 36% for Texas, 9% for USC. Let me look. Most consecutive wins. Okay, so UConn has the record with 126 regular season games. So obviously South Carolina has a lot to go because 126 straight wins is insane. Hey, let them know, Lindy. Don't forget to mash that like button, my great people. None of this is possible without all you great people. Thank you so much for locking in, rocking with me. I will have more content as these games go later. Maybe I'll hop back on live tonight to give y'all a late night live. Y'all know how we get down late night with live with Brandon Blakeney. But I just wanted to hop on, do a quick post game, give y'all the update. SC lost one player from last year, roster added three. Huh? All right. Well, welcome in, Rover. It definitely is early. It definitely is early, and I don't want to overreact. It's still early. None of these teams are complete projects yet. No, none of them are finished projects. These teams, even NC State, like these teams are going to look totally different in a couple of months, for sure, without a doubt. But this SC front court is going to have to do it by committee. There is no number one scoring option for them right now. But the fact that they overcame losing Khloe Kitts for this game was major, in my opinion, after she had 19 and 14 in their first game. Getting Ashlyn Watkins back and acclimated is major. It's still very early in the season, though. Some people still figuring out their roles as well. But yeah, they don't really have a post player that has a go-to move right now, like a reliable option where it's like, yo, throw it in the post. I need a bucket. Game on the line. It's been done by committee, which is not the first time for South Carolina playing by committee, but we have grown accustomed to them in the last, several years having an elite big down low in the post. Yes. But guys, I am about to call it for this live. Just want to give y'all a quick post game. That is a wrap for us. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. Lock in with all the latest with the Live of Brandon Blakely podcast. Follow us on social media at Brandon Lee TV. Much love to everybody. I appreciate y'all. Till next time, we out.